afternoon. My name's John Oakes. I'm with Hanco Motors here, HANKSTERS Hot Rods, and I'm going to go over our newest addition to our inventory here. This is a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner, kind of modeled after an A12 Roadrunner. Now this one is not an A12, but they did model it after that. So we'll do our traditional underside video here. I'll point out to you some of the key features here. And we'll just work our way up through the car here, and when we're all done with the underside, we will lower it down and do the top side. But for right now, we'll start here at the back. Underneath here, you see it's got this big giant fuel tank, just very customary of all your Mopars basically with big motors. They take a lot of fuel, so you need that big fuel tank. The tank's in really good condition. Looks like it's just got one little tiny ding in it right here. Otherwise, everything looks really great on it. Your mounting straps, your mounting hardware all looks to be in really good condition on the car. And you see that it's all painted up there. So again, it's in really good condition. The car does have dual exhaust. It has tailpipes that run out the back, and they have those finished off with some chrome exhaust tips. It does have multi-leaf rear suspension. They did add the air shocks to the back, so you can just pull up to a gas station or wherever. You can air those up to give it the ride that you're looking for. We have a Mopar 8 3/4 inch rear end under this car. Not exactly sure of the gear ratio, but we do know it's 8 3/4 rear. This car does have drum brakes on the rear as well as on the front, so four-wheel drum brakes. Again, it's got the dual exhaust. It's got the glass pack style mufflers on it. But as we work our way up, we'll go ahead and we'll take a little closer look at those when we get in the center of our car. All right, here we are underneath the center of the 69 Plymouth Roadrunner here. We'll take a look at the floors. Now again, I'm not sure how good we can zoom in here, but these are all original floors on this car, and they are in really good condition. I don't see any shoddy patchwork. As a matter of fact, I really don't see any patching at all. And as far as the undercoating goes on this car, this is probably 90% of the original undercoating too that is on this car. Got a drive shaft here. Looks like it's been balanced, so drive lines should run real smooth for you. Again, we've got that dual exhaust going back into the glass pack style mufflers. That's all in good condition, and it's all tied up and tucked in about as tight as what you can get on one of these cars. The cross member back here for the transmission, it's in really good condition as well. And that is a Torque Flight 727 automatic transmission. Very typical to what you'd see in most of your Mopars running that automatic transmission. The torsion bar, front suspension there, and then again, just finishing off the exhaust, it's got the long tube headers here bolted up to a 440 motor. Now again, I mentioned that this was an A12 style car. If this was an original A12, it would have had the 3 Holley 2-barrel carburetors on it, mounted on an Edelbrock intake. But we'll get to that stuff whenever we go under the hood. And that was another feature, was the hood. It had the fiberglass hood with the big scoop on it. So again, stuff we'll go over on the exterior of the car. As far as underneath the center here though, we're all done here. We'll move up to the front of the car and we'll finish off our underside video there. And finally, we've made it to the front underneath our car here, underneath the 69 Roadrunner. So we'll just take a look here. Again, I already mentioned it does have four-wheel drum brakes, so that's what you have up here, drum brakes here on both sides. We've got this front sway bar going across the front end. All the bushings, the rubbers, the boots, your sway bar end links, ball joints, top and bottom. Your stamped control arms on the bottom, stamped upper A-arms up top, all of your rubbers, again, like I said, the boots, everything on all of your suspension and your steering all look to be in really good condition. The other thing that I have not mentioned yet is this car does ride on 15-inch painted steel wheels. Again, nothing real flashy, they're just painted black. kind of like it would have been from the factory with that A12 package. And they have a set of red line tires on here too, to, you know, just complete that classic look like it would have been from the factory. Also, you see here on the motor, they do have this deep sump oil pan here. That just gets you a little more oil volume there to help protect the motor, keep it running smooth and cool for you. Okay, here we are now outside going over the exterior of the 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. Again, I mentioned on the underside video that this is styled after an A12 Roadrunner, which the obvious thing here that you see first and foremost is this big fiberglass hood here, the lift-off hood. That was very characteristic of your A12, along with some other things under the hood that we'll get to a little later. But again, we do have that fiberglass hood. It is lift-off with all 4 hood pins, and it's got that big hood scoop there right in the middle. Again, the exterior of the car is Hemi orange. You can see it's in really good condition. The paint is really nice on the car. As we go back through the side here, you'll notice up here also it's got the light treatment. It's got the turn signals mounted up here on the front fenders. You'll also notice it's kind of a basic looking car, which is exactly how it would have been as it would have come from the factory as an A12. It's got the painted steel wheels. Those are 15-inch. It's got the red line tires on it to give it that old school look again. And those are H70-15 size tires, both front and rear on that car. As we come back here a little further, the doors, you'll notice the gaps here and the elevations are really, really good on this car. I don't think you could get any better on the door gaps in this car. You've got the Roadrunner decal, the Roadrunner emblem right here on the side of the door. You've got the chrome mirror here, and this is a remote mirror just for the driver's side only. It does not have a mirror on the passenger side. All of the bright work, the trim around the windows are in really good condition. Got the drip rail moldings here as well. We'll go ahead and open that door up and show you inside now. Now you'll notice the inside of the door all painted up just the same as the outside, that Hemi orange. Got the little rubber bump stops in there. Got the seals here and weather stripping, all in really good condition. No rips, tears, cracks, anything like that on those. I'll just sneak around the camera here. And the next thing you notice, we've got an all black interior. So black door panels, black upholstery on the seats, the black dash, which that's factory dash. In that dash, we got all the factory gauges, which would include the alternator gauge, fuel gauge, 120 mile speedometer, and the temperature gauge. Now somebody did add in an aftermarket oil pressure gauge, but again, that's just, you know, for personal preference, so they can monitor that a little better. We've got factory heater controls inside, as well as a factory AM radio as well. Factory steering wheel, and with that steering wheel, you've got that traditional Roadrunner horn there. So as far as the interior goes, you've got all the front seat belts are present on this car, but it does look like the seat belts are not on the back seats. So you do have all the front ones, just not on the back seat. We'll go ahead and close this up. Again, it closes nice and easy, a nice good thud there, and it's all shut. As we work our way back here a little further, again, you see those, just those plain painted steel wheels with the red line tires, H70-15s on there as well. Big, long quarter panels here. Again, though, a very easy car to sit back, look down the sides, and see that that car is very, very straight. Now that we're around the back side of the car here, just a few things here to take a look at. Number one, nice chrome bumper. It's really in good shape here for us. You'll see down here at the bottoms the exhaust tips sticking out just below that bumper. And those are chrome exhaust tips. Then you notice the backup lights that are mounted here in the rear bumper. As far as up here on the trunk lid, you do have the little Roadrunner decal here again, with the Roadrunner emblem off here to the side of the trunk lid. And now we'll go ahead and pop that open for you and take a look inside. There we go. And again, notice that the underside of the trunk painted the same as the rest of the car, that Hemi orange. You'll notice the weather stripping here around the trunk is all in really good condition. No rips, cracks, tears, anything like that. No chunking off. So you shouldn't have any problems with that all sealing up in here. You also notice that we have a nice trunk mat in here, and we have a spare tire back here. And that's complete with the jack and the stand and everything for that. So that whole assembly is back there for you. So we'll go ahead and close this up. Again, this is an awfully big panel on this car, so you can check out the gaps, the elevations the whole way around, and everything looks really good on this as far as panel fitment back here for the trunk. And now we've got the passenger side of the car here to go over. Again, all the same stuff as over on the driver's side. Got that big long quarter panel flowing right into the door and the front fender. Again, very easy to stand back and look down the side of the car and see that this car is very straight. Again, all the bright work around the windows, your drip rail moldings, the wing window there, all of that trim is in really good condition on this car. We'll just go ahead, again, you can check out the door gaps there and elevations. Those all are really good again on this car. Big panels, it's really important to make sure that they're all aligned really good, which they are on this car. So again, we'll open up the door. Again, we have the little rubber bump stops in here. Got the weather stripping that's in really good condition. The black door panels, all black upholstery. The carpeting is really good on this car too. Headliner, really good. And the dash, I forgot to mention, there are no cracks or tears or anything like that in that dash either. So everything on the inside of this car looks really, really good. So again, we're going to shut this up. Again, nice thud there, make sure it's all closed. Again, we come up here to the front fender, pretty plain up here, no trim to speak of. Just going up here again to those fender mounted turn signals, and again the steel wheels with the red line tires, and again you see that fiberglass hood with that big air scoop on it with the 446 barrel decals on it. Now we're finally up at the front end of our 69 Roadrunner. As you see, we are missing a very important part of the car right now, and that's that fiberglass lift-off hood. I just went ahead and took it off just for purposes of our filming here, so it didn't take a whole lot of time in between here. But you'll see across the front end, got your traditional Roadrunner front end, got the chrome front bumper there, turn signals down below, the marker lights. What we'll do now is I'll kind of go through what's in here as far as the engine goes and all the components. We'll just work our way from front to back on it. So starting at the front, we've got factory style radiator in here. It does have a shroud complete with a 7-blade clutch fan in there. As far as the ignition goes, you have your stock style distributor in here along with your coil that's mounted over here on the fender. Again, you have the traditional Roadrunner horns mounted underneath here as well. Now again, something you see on this car that would have been characteristic of your A12 Roadrunner would be this 446 barrel air cleaner cover with a decal on it. And underneath that, just like the A12s, you have 3 Holley 2-barrel carburetors. That's what the A12 would have come with. Now it would have also had an Edelbrock intake on it. This has a cast intake on it. So that would be pretty much the only difference there. You see it's got the painted valve covers, and this car does have a set of Hooker long tube headers on it as well. Again, we already saw a dual exhaust underneath the car there. So as far as all that goes, again, it was a pretty scaled down car. It's got manual brakes, manual steering on it, but everything other than that, pretty much just as it would have been with the A12. Again, very nice running, driving car, and for a big 440 motor, it's a very smooth running motor too, so very enjoyable car to drive. So as far as the car goes, that's pretty much it for our video. If you have any questions or inquiries, you can definitely give us a call or shoot us an email. We'll be glad to return those any responses that we have for you as soon as we can.